Hello, everybody. My light is on. Hey, I kind of look like a holy angel. Oh. Hello, everybody. I'm Manakyn. Welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing today? Oh, man, it's been a day. I'm only gonna have a time for a short stream today, so yeah, today's gonna be a shorter stream. How's it going, Randy? Probably gonna end it around 6, so probably just gonna simp for some girls and then leave. Yeah, lots of unfortunate stuff happening in the world of voiceover right now. A lot of it has to do with egos. Yeah, a lot of voiceover artists are getting really big heads, which was expected, to be honest. But anyway, I don't want to think about that right now. Do you know what we do want to think about? Ace Attorney. Let's play. Come on, Ace Attorney. There we go. How's it going, Ash? How are you guys doing, by the way? You guys never tell me how you're doing. You're always just like, hey, how's it going? My day's okay. Man, sometimes I feel like a parent with you guys. Like, I'm like, how are you guys doing? I was like, I'm fine. What'd you do in school today, honey? Nothing. June 16th, 2:23 p.m. Wright, Anything Agency. Hey, it's my darling! What a train wreck that was. I'm glad we made it out of that trial alive. Really? I had fun. Thank you, Trucy, for always brightening up my day. And Waki made it through the day, too. Everyone was too obsessed with panties to bother with the real case. Can we return the Mafia's underwear now? But it was good publicity. Imagine the crowd at my show. I'm not sure that's the publicity you want, girl. You should come, Polly. 10% off. Yeah. And the amazing Mr. Hat will be making an appearance. Hi, folks. I'll be here all week. That's about enough of him. Freaking. It's like we've in the process of this case, this one case, we've committed like 3 crimes. Hello. Oh, Miss Tiala. Thank you for today. The trial went well. Oh, right. Yeah, no problem. I'm just saying, you know, maybe you want to start a new life with me, wink. Do you think Waki will be okay? Well, he's not guilty yet. Please, you have to help him. We're supposed to get married next month. Oh. Congratulations. Mr. Hat's really getting ahead of himself. I hate it. Oh, way to put the pressure on a guy. Please let me know if there's anything I can do. Well, there are a number of things you can do to help, okay? So, alright, listen, hear me out, girl, right? So, why don't you go down to the station and convince Waki to work with me? And then we can talk about other things. Are you sure about marrying into the Kitaki family?
I'm fine with it. And I love Waki with all my heart.
Ah, that's so sweet! So it doesn't bother you that you'll be married to the mob and probably end up looking like this?
I don't think so. My parents are against it, of course. Say, where did you and Waki meet first anyway?
It's a good question. Miss Tiala doesn't look like the type to have gangster connections. She's clearly the good girl who's fallen for the bad boy. Or maybe she's the good boy. Wait. Or maybe she's the bad girl who is actually. She's the good girl who's actually a bad girl. And she fell for the bad boy who's actually a good boy.
Oh, we met at my old job, actually.
Ah, office romance. It's not recommended. She's not very forthcoming with information about herself.
Did you know the boss is trying to get out of the business?
Really? Mr. Kitaki wants to quit being a G?
He's trying to transfer his assets into a normal company. He only announced it recently, out of the blue. I hear there's quite a lot of confusion in the ranks.
I wonder if that explains his apron. Hey, look, this apron is running my family, capiche? Can't imagine Waki going along with that.
He's highly motivated, isn't he?
That's not the word I would have used.
He said it like, I'll be the next big boss and keep the family alive, believe it. I think he's at the age where boys want to make their mark.
You are referring to your fiance as a boy. Girl, I'm not sure she's in it for love. Okay, let's be real here. That's not the way I would have put that either.
His father moves in a lot of circles.
I don't know why, but when I read that sentence, I just imagined, what is it? Mr. Kitaki just walking around in a circle. What do you think she's in it for? Well, it's obviously because Waki's got that really big inheritance.
He's really focused on profits. The Kitaki family's been making a killing.
Again, not the way I would have put it.
But Waki says it's not about the money. They have the gangster tradition to uphold.
Ooh, a generation! I think it's usually the other way around. I'm pretty sure the older generation usually cares about tradition.
They even got the ever classic, what about the family business thing going?
Usually it's the father worried about tradition. Man, I'm literally just Apollo. Can I ask you a question about Waki? I understand he was operated on by the victim, Dr. Maractus.
Apparently, yes.
Believe it! I'm gonna be the next Hokage! But then he put a bullet in my heart and wouldn't take it out! Believe it! So I had to go to Kakashi Sensei.
It sounded horrible. Waki's always been fond of fighting, I'm afraid.
I'm not sure it qualifies as fighting when pistols are involved.
Mr. Gavin was saying his life might be in danger, wasn't he? No, that can't be right. I'm sure he was just trying to scare us.
Waki got a whack hairstyle. I mean, who doesn't have a whack hairstyle in this franchise, really? Have you seen this man?
It's scary to think a surgeon might make a mistake.
I don't think he made a mistake. I think there was just nothing he could do.
But it's even scarier when he tries to hide.
Yeah, no, that's true. He should have mentioned that. I'd like to know a little more about this operation. Maybe it's time to pay the Maractus Clinic a visit.
I should be getting home now. Waki's in your hands, Mr. Justice.
Can you say my name again?
Mr. Justice?
No, say the first part of my name.
Apollo Justice.
Thank you. Did you record that, Trucy? Record what? Okay, say that again. Right! Leave it to me!
Apollo, I think you're only making her more nervous.
Sorry, I'm new at this, okay?
Teehee. It's all...
She teeheed at me. Oh, she wants me, baby. Oh! Oh!
I believe in you.
Let's look at spaghetti. Where should we go? Let's go check in on Dad. He's not here. Let's not. No. I don't know. Kitaki Mansion. Nothing. Eldoon House? Nothing. People Park? The garage. No. What do you think Apollo's parents are like? I imagine the mom is very, you can do it, sweetie. And the dad is very, you gotta work hard in life. Very, I imagine very normal parents, honestly. We don't really know Phoenix's parents either. Where are we going? What do you want me to do? Here's Kitaki Mansion. And... I mean, Eldoon's house is right next to the garage. Here we're in the garage. Maybe we look around? I mean, we've looked at all of this already. Oh, there's a camera over here. There's a cat over here. A vent over here. You said we should pay someone a visit. Let me head back to the agency again. We literally have no one to talk to. He said we should pay the clinic a visit. We did. Eldoon's house, Kitaki Mansion, Full Detention Center? Oh, okay, here's something.
Looks like Waki's out for questioning.
I really need to talk to him. Guess we'll come back later. Excuse me.
Yeah?
The other suspect is all through with questioning, sir.
The other...
We're gonna go. So they arrested him too. Yes! Yes, they arrested him. He's going to be put on a list, man. And it's not a VIP list. Okay, let's just say that. Well, it is a VIP list, but it's not the very important person that you'd want to be. Let's have a little chat with Mr. Stickler.
He's a valuable
Trucy, how are you not disturbed by this? Very important pervert. He is a bit precious. I'll give him that. Please, keep this brief if you would. I'm quite busy. So, I intend... Oh, it's you! Mr. Stickler, we'd like to have a few words with you. First of all, have you returned all the underwear? I kept one. Very well, as long as there are few. Nothing would make me happier, believe me. No. Stickler doesn't get sad music. Wait, no. Stickler, you don't get freaking sad. Give me a moment. Here we go. Give him the clown music. Moe's theme. Phoenix Wright. Here. There we go. Mr. Stickler, on the night of the murder, you stole... Wait! I can't help but feel I'm being misunderstood! That was a good choice. Moe's theme was a good choice. Let me turn it down just a little bit. How exactly? Yes. That night, I obtained a pair of panties, it's true. However, it was my burning curiosity. Please stop. Please, man, please.
You wanted to know the trick to my panties, right?
You're here too! Oh, great, juicy tea! We're filing a restraining order. I must know the secret of your... Trucy, you need like a no-fly list or something, like for the show. Oh my god. Actually, I'm gonna be honest. Am I victim blaming right now? I think I might victim blame. Trucy, it's your fault for using panties for the show. I think I'm gonna victim blame here. It's kind of your fault, Trucy. My very existence hangs in the balance. Please, make me your apprentice. Maybe I have a point.
Apollo, help.
I don't know if he'd make a great, lovely assistant.
Don't say that, Apollo.
Why don't you tell me what happened? Could you relate what you saw the night of the murder to us one more time? Oh, why not? Though it hardly differs from the testimony. Your testimony changed like 19 times. The defendant was there at the park at the night. I'm quite certain. He was pointing a pistol or something like that at the victim. And that was when I shouted, "Stop, you two! Let's resolve this like gentlemen! I have panties!" And the next moment, a shot was fired. And this is all true? Really? Look at his mouth going. My panties are gone. My innermost heart revealed. What further reason could I have to lie? I can't think of anything he'd want to hide more than panty snatching. I need coffee for this.
Sounds like Walkie was at the scene of the crime after all.
How I wish it weren't so. So, is that all? Hey, still doing your job, buddy? Security guard. He stands here watching this room. I have no idea if he's listening to us talk. I'm not even sure he's breathing. Anyway, let's get out of here. I don't want to talk to this guy anymore. Anyway. Let's turn back the normal music. Oh, actually, you know what? No, we should go back there once more. Oh. June 16th, the Detention Center video is another thing? Oh, I didn't even realize there would be a second thing. I was hoping to meet with my client? Walkie Kitaki's just finished questioning. I'll bring him out.
Great, finally.
No, that was just kind of lucky.
Yo, sup, my little imposter. Ah! What did you call me? Ew, you're gross. Sam. Oh, it's you. Yeah, sorry, G. I thought you were a
My little imposter. Oh. That's like, how's it going, Snookums? Hey, how's it going, sweetie bear? Hey, how's it going, Slippery? I need some vitamins to deal with this crap, man.
My little imposter is sure a strange nickname. It's a clink thing. You wouldn't understand. Believe it. Did I say imposter? I meant poster. Like, poster girl, aight?
What?
If you're gonna drop part of that, why not just drop the poster and call her girl? Cause she's so much more than that, G! She's like an angel. A fallen angel. Believe it! So what can I do you for? You don't look so chipper today, Walkie.
Worried about your, heart condition, maybe?
That was the wackest thing of us all. Us G's lining up, taking eye exams. Better to die young than fade away, bazoy.
A relief to hear.
Eh? What's a relief?
No. You gonna die, kid. Yeah, that bullet. Yeah, you're gonna die, but I'll write a song for you. It'll be called Bullet in the Heart, and a boy named Walkie died.
Man, I ain't trying to hear that. Man fights to protect what's valuable to him, you know? You know what I'm saying? He's my fallen angel. Hey, go get a lawyer for me. You're my lawyer.
Lawyer. Not Gopher. So I hear you're going to be married.
Yo, straight up, G. We poured the nuptial 40 out on the what?
The nuptial 40 out on the... What does that mean?
Alita! Oh, Snapple! Ah, hot dang! She's so fine!
He's like a child. I think he's smitten with her in his own weird way.
I was wondering, how'd you two meet? I asked Tiala, but she was very vague. Huh. Well, man, if she wouldn't tell you, I best hold my tongue, you feel me?
You shouldn't have mentioned.
What? Man, what's past is past, she knows that. When I'm with Alita, I feel like there's things worth protecting out there. You feel me, Holmes? And my Alita, she's down with that all the way.
So both of them are mum about their past.
Do you think you could tell us about what happened with you and Palmaractus? There's something you should know. We Kitakis are having what you might call a feud with the Ravalis family. So about 6 months back, I go to Ravalis' turf packing a knife, right? And you were shot? Haven't you heard about the whole thing about knife fights and guns and stuff? Yeah, coldest thing I ever seen. Yeah, I told them it was a knife fight, and here they are wielding guns. One shot to the heart, but it weren't too late. But my homies give loving a bad name.
So sorry.
It's already considered one of the 7 wonders of the Kitaki family, you know that?
So you were taken to the Maractus clinic. Yeah, maybe don't bring a knife running into a rival family.
You should have seen their faces when they wheeled me in. You can't just let the boss's son die like that, you know?
Hate to have been in that doctor's shoes. Mr. Kitaki's scary enough when he's not angry.
But the bullet that hit you, it was never removed.
And still threatening his life.
That doctor, he did it on purpose. The Ravalis paid him off, I'm sure of it. Believe it.
I better hear more about the night of the murder. How much is clear?
Life in the family is a G-thing. It's about being a man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be swift as a coursing river. You know, like, be a man. With all the force of a great typhoon. Be a man. Sorry, I'm not up on my G things. I'm not even sure what a G thing is. Well, old man, he's gone soft. He said the old rival gang days are over. He just wants to make money. Isn't that a good thing? Man, there ain't no soul in making money. Better to live fast and die young for shizzle.
I hate this kid.
Wait till I run the yard. Then everyone will know what time it is. Cause I'll have clocks everywhere. Yeah, believe it. That's right. OG time. Represent. Apollo, why does he keep talking about old guys?
Because he respects his elders, Trucy. That's why. I don't think that's what OG means, Trucy. So, have you ever seen your mom's underwear?
Yeah, whatever. I see it every day.
Wait, what? Seems preoccupied.
Alita, man. Alita.
I don't think there's anything we need to... Knife? About these weapons, the pistol, knife...
They belong to the family. I snuck them out that night.
So the killer, Mr. Stickler, says he saw what he saw that night.
I guess it was me. I guess I was there after all. Yo, Wacky. What up, Holmes? I'ma kick it out to all my homies. You think you could tell us what exactly happened that night? You don't be around the bush, do ya? Like your style, shorty.
Don't call my daughter Shorty. Please don't. Wait, do we get a note? Oh yeah, perfect. Actually, there's a question I've been wanting to ask you for a while. That is, did you do it?
No. Did I check up when I found out about the bullet? I borrowed a gun from my family stash. Figured I'd give that doctor a taste of his own bad medicine. But you were carrying a knife. Oh, that? Yeah, well, never be too careful, I say. So I'm on my way to the clinic, right? Meh.
Wait, suddenly he became a Italian. Meh. Where did that term "shorty" even come from? I don't know. Maybe all the girls that rappers find attractive are short.
When I run into the park, he's dragging this noodle stand behind him. Wait, you didn't put him up to that? Like, you know, in the movies? Like, go get me the noodle stand if you want to live. If you value your life, you bring the stand. Shorty, you're more whack than I am. And that's saying, do you hear that? Apollo, I could be the G-Life. But I was serious. I'm gonna be a G when I grow up. Faux show. I'ma kick it out to my homes, boy.
Trucy, stick to magic.
Thing is, I don't remember what happened next all too well.
You don't remember?
The way I see it, if there wasn't anyone out there that night, then I guess I probably did it. It was me. Know what I'm saying?
Yes? That's all we got. Stickler, I'm filing a restraining order, man. He cannot get within 500 feet of Trucy. How many times I'm going to predict stuff? Yes. I mean, these characters, they're like so like core characters to me. I just get it. I just get these characters, man. Like, Apollo's just always frustrated with everything. I just totally get it. Anyway, let's head out.
Hey, what's a restraining order and why are you gonna file what?
Trucy, just let me take care of this, okay?
Are you gonna restrain Mr. Stickler? Can I help?
Trucy! No, stay away from that man. Ah, there we go. Now we got something new.
Hey, how's it going, mama? I'm gonna call you Big Mama Plum, if that's okay. Yeah, word up, boy. Ooh.
She's back. Hey, you two, over here. I just realized Lil Plum and Stickler almost have the exact same voice. Stickler sounds like this, and Little Plum sounds like this. Us?
Yo, what up, Lil Plum? How's it hanging in the crib? Faux show.
I think all this gangsterese is a negative influence on Trucy. I hear you retrieved my bloomers. Well, it was just doing my... A man speaks clearly and takes credit where it's due. You got the thief, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
I caught him. Actually, if she takes care of Wesley Stickler, I don't have to file that restraining order. I'll tell you everything you need to know about him.
You're cute when you're nervous, Polly.
Ah, do you think this cuteness will win me points with Emma? I'll deal with you later. enough about bloomers.
What about my son, Walkie?
Well, he's, clearly! Yes, ma'am! This is why I was kind of hoping we could avoid coming back here.
He's really everything you'd expect in a boss's son. He's all like, I'm gonna be a gangster, dude, and man, life is about the homes, dude, and I'm a straight up G for show.
That life does have an appeal for that age. Particularly for boys.
I'm not a boy and I want to be a gangster.
What? Don't look at me like that. He was shot in a turf war about half a year ago. Yeah, we heard the story from... Okay, Trucy's the type of person who would, like, accidentally join a gang because she thought it was, like, a magic club or something. We heard the story from Walkie. But he didn't tell you the whole story. You know, even if he had a pistol then, he couldn't have shot anyone. Does he suck?
What?
He acts like he's all hard, but he couldn't shoot no homes to save his life, fool. I'm hard. I come from the streets, but not him. He grew up on cocoa melon. I should know. I'm his mom. Your words do have a certain weight to them. Hopefully when this is all taken care of, he and the boss can sort out their differences.
The boss? You mean Walkie's dad?
They didn't seem to be on the best of terms, did they? It's true. One of our pistols is missing.
So the murder weapon was from this mansion.
We kind of figured, given the difficulty of obtaining guns. None of the rank and file have access. You know, that's crazy to me. That's actually legitimately crazy that that guns are so sparse and like rare in Japan. Me growing up in America where like guns are a right of defense and stuff like that. Only the boss, myself, and Walkie could have taken it. I'm sure the cops will continue tromping all over the mansion because of this case. Maybe this is a sign for a change. Maybe this is a sign that it's time for a change. Wah, wah, wah. You laugh kind of funny, Plum. Oh, I know. She doesn't seem too concerned, at least. Oh, yes. Walkie's fiancé. They're getting married next month, correct? I suppose she's been staying over lately. Oh? Oh?
You don't look too happy about that, little Plum.
How'd you guess? Even I could tell that. Can you tell us more about her? Walkie brought her home one day. Says he wants to tie the knot.
I can see why. She's so pretty. Apollo! Apollo, that was your cue to say that I'm pretty!
Am I... are you?
Apollo!
Oh, she's pretty enough, but, you know. Hey, how's it going, Kilma? Nah, it's probably just me being suspicious. Stay in the business too long, and you start to only see darkness in people. You get a nose for it, and my nose is very big. A nose for trouble. I wonder what the problem is.
It's like a gangsters only version of female intuition. It's like the gangster. I'm a G, yo.
I can imagine. Okay, like my picture of this scene is Trucy's just running around in the yard, going, "I'm a gangster, pew pew." And Apollo's like, Josie, stop that!
Yo, gangsters don't listen to no rules. Gangsters don't listen to the
Josie, sit down! The boss may act tough, but that boy means the world to him. But Waki seems, well, seems like he's an angsty teenager. It's to be expected. Hey, Ari, it's been a while. We're in a bit of a transition now. Trying to cut our ties with the shadier side of the street and do more on the up and up. Waki isn't too enthusiastic about the change, it's true.
But why the change? Is the gangster life not paying the bills? Wait, do gangsters actually live in the hood? Oh no, I wanted to be a rich gangster.
It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is. I see. Something must be up. You'll see things the way the boss sees them someday. You know, it's really interesting. At least from what I understand from LA gangs, it's like most of the people who join the gangs in LA, they're not proud of it, right? You know, a lot of people, especially like movies in Hollywood, they have this perception that like, oh, gangster life is like, oh, you're part of a family and stuff like that. And, you know, kind of like the old 1930s mafia type of thing. You have that. And also like the LA gangster life, obviously you have some sense of loyalty to the gang. But no gangster wants their kids to become gangsters because they understand, like, a lot of them, they become gangsters because that's the hand they were dealt. So yeah, like a lot of them join, you know, a gang very young, actually to, you know, for protection reasons, because, you know, they have no one else to look up to. A lot of them, you know, they didn't grow up, a lot of gangsters, they often come from broken families and so on and so forth. So it's very interesting to see this dynamic trying to be explored in from the angle of the Yakuza, or in this case the mafia or the mob or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, but you know, because the Yakuza is much more old style gangsters compared to what you see in like downtown LA. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, you know, like you know, Yakuza, the Yakuza series, they explore this, the idea of a lot of Yakuza wanting to get out of the life. A lot has changed. Hey, nice to hear everything's going well for you, Ari. By the way, I got your underwear back. About these. Hey, my bloomers, thanks for that, I owe you one. I thought you might like them back, so, Oh, no. Why don't you keep them as a souvenir? Oh, really? Can I? I mean, if that's what you want, I'll hold on to them as a sign of respect for you. No, I couldn't, really. Thanks for the offer.
I could use those in my Magic Panties act.
Okay, Trucy.
I'll pull shivs and pieces and godfathers out.
Yes, pull godfathers out of them. Great! Now your props are going from bland to dangerous. Now you want to see Magic Panties? Sorry, kid, I have no idea what you're talking about. How about these?
Can you tell me if this knife belongs to Waki?
Oh, that's his knife, all right. Bought it for him for his birthday. He was all like, I'm gonna be a G and shank people, fool. That's a pretty hardcore present. I remember him falling asleep with it clutched in his arm.
Oh, I know the feeling. I bet he was just happy as I was with my plastic spaghetti.
Oh boy. think this is all we got here. Anything we want to present to her? No, I'm more excited to talk to Emma. Not saying I don't love talking to you, Miss Plum. Let's head to People Park. Now I'm disappointed. Hey, Mr. Dune!
Hey, it's Mr. Eldoon! Oh, Mr. Eldoon! What's wrong?
So you found my stand. That's why I'm here. To thank you. But now it's a crime scene and they won't let me have it back! It's also why I'm here. Got no other place to go. How can a noodle stand be a crime scene? That's what I don't get, Trucy doll! Even in death, he's after my neck, I tell ya. I can't even cook an honest noodle! He?
Even in death? You mean the victim, Palmractus?
I tell ya. It's enough to drive a man to make his soup even saltier! Remind me to never eat his noodles when he's in a bad mood. I'm assuming his father was the ramen shop that Maya and Phoenix used to go to. Sorry, the burger stand, I mean. Speaking of Yakuza, there's a new game coming out where you can play as Goro Majima in a remote Pacific island. What? Is it like one of those silly spin-offs where it's like, it's not really Goro Majima, but it is Goro Majima? Tell me about the noodles. That stand for generations has served up the best noodles us Eldoons could make. A tradition of noodles and salty... Do you know what I just realized? Is his hair actually ramen? Because I noticed his eyebrows are black. His eyebrows are black. So his hair... I think he's just putting ramen on his head. A tradition of noodles and salty broth. More than a stand. It's history, I tell ya. Watch what you say or it might be true.
That's a great story, Mr. Eldoon. A single stand, passed down from generation to generation.
Of course, to be honest, I didn't plan on doing it.
That's right, you said something about that. And you rebelling against your pops.
Good memory, Trucy doll. I was a go-getter back in my day. Till my friend next door butted in. In the end, I was left with nothing but this dusty stand to earn my fortune. I mean, that's what your family's been doing for generations. I'm sure it's not that bad. Mr. Eldoon, I don't mean to pry. What exactly did you do before becoming a chef? Let old noodles lie. That's what I say. Starting to get an idea of what he did anyway. Are you? Because I'm not. He stole my dreams! Left me with nothing but noodles. And now I don't even have that. Do you want to just tell me what you used to do? Mr. Eldoon, if I might ask, what exactly happened between you and the Maractus Clinic? I couldn't help but sense some enmity. Enmity. I hate this word. Animosity there. Enmity. It's such a weird word. Animosity. I hate him. Hatred. Him acting like he smells roses when he's rolling in mud. Excuse me? Is it only doctor at that clinic, you know? Pretty impressive, huh? I'll tell you the secret to his success. The mob. You mean the Kitaki family? They're always having they're having one of them turf wars or whatnot. Always an injury or two that needs fixing. Maractus saw a chance for some business. I wonder why, it's such a big deal to work on gangsters and mobsters in Japan. Because I mentioned this before in the hospital where my sister works. Gangsters sometimes just drop off their friends. Like, once again, it's called a homeboy drop off. And like, so that actually happens. And then, you know, a lot of the doctors just follow the basic Hippocratic oath and just say, okay, well, we need to operate on this guy, so we might as well do it. Yeah, and I don't know who funds that. Probably the government, taxes or something like that. But yeah, but I don't know why it's such a massive deal. Maybe it's a massive deal because of the Japanese tax structure, or maybe it's a massive deal because there's a lot more strict reporting when it comes to reporting crime. I don't know. I don't actually know the answer. A deal? Every 5th operation for free. Can you imagine needing so many operations? You have a punch card? Oh my goodness. It's like a punch card for yogurt, but with bullet wound operations. He stole the idea from my pops. 1 free bowl of noodles a week, he used to say. I'm pretty sure that's just a very common thing.
Can a doctor just decide to do that? What about the insurance companies?
Oh, no doubt it's illegal, but it got him good with the family. Pretty soon he was getting all the business in town. Leaving me here in the... Wait, you used to be a doctor? Up to my neck in soupy new... Wait, did you used to be an a surgeon? I guess I figured out Mr. Eldoon's former occupation.
Can't hurt to ask, Apollo.
Mr. Eldoon, or Doctor... Can you imagine going from making noodles to graduating medical school and then going back to making noodles? It's kind of romantic, to be honest. Like, you might say, like, oh, he got down on his luck and then had to come back to making noodles. I personally think, maybe you just wanted to make good food all along. Figured it out, did ya? That's right. I was a surgeon. Until the year before last.
So, Mr. Maractus was your rival?
Well, I guess malpractice dude. So he drove him out of business through malpractice, I guess. You like those onions they put in the soup broth? I like the onion flavor. I don't like the onions. Yeah, I guess so. You take a spoon, you drink some broth. Maybe green onions, maybe? Like, the green onions? Yeah, I like those. Those onions will find their way in there. For people who like them, that's just fine. For people who hate them, I hate onions! Always sneaking in from the side, getting in the way of a good tasting spoonful. That's what he was. And what is this metaphor? Onion boy, that's what I called him. So you weren't exactly friends. Me and Palmractus. Ever since preschool, we're getting in each other's faces. No matter what I did, sure enough, he'd come following along. And he'd do it better than me. Just blow right past without so much as a howdy. I know some people who've had to deal with things like that. It's like sometimes life just isn't fair. Sometimes people have more resources so they can buy their way in, or, you know, sometimes people just, like, happen to be in the right place at the right time, and so they get the advantage. It's unfortunate. And I always tell everyone, you know, like, just because someone's doing good, don't be bitter about it, but it's hard. It's really hard, especially when, like, you've spent so much time working towards something, and then someone can, like, buy their way in, or maybe, like, get lucky and just suddenly become very good. Yeah, it sucks. I see. You know, a lot of people say, like, oh, well, you don't know how hard that guy has been working. And, you know, like, to me, that's kind of not the right way to approach the problem. Because it makes it seem like, oh, why don't you work harder? You know, the reality is sometimes life is just unfair. Like, sometimes, like, there's a saying my volleyball coach used to tell me. Sometimes you just lose. Sometimes, even if you're, you know, clearly the better team, sometimes you just lose because, like, you know, you would have won 99% of the time, and this happened to be the 1%. Yeah, so, you know, sometimes life is just unfair. And, you know, you don't want to be bitter about that. I think, generally, me saying life is unfair makes me less bitter than me saying, why don't I just work harder? Because when I say, why don't I just work harder, it just makes me feel like I'm not good enough. Right? It's like, why don't you just work harder? It's like, well, I'm working so hard, I can't do it. Maybe I just suck. Maybe everything is awful about my life. And that's what makes me bitter. Sometimes I just say, you know, life just isn't fair sometimes. You know, it doesn't mean that anyone's better than you. Yeah. So. But, you know, you probably, if Maya liked your dad's ramen, I'm sure your ramen's good. Just, you know, just cool it with the salt, okay? And, you know, sometimes people find satisfaction and people find their calling or their enjoyments in life through very strange things. Like, you know, maybe he comes back to noodle making and he realizes, hey, this is what makes me happy. You know, I know plenty of people who left, like, high-paying careers to do something that pays a lot less, but they're happier. So. Reminds me of how Tom Brady threw for over 500 yards. Super Bowl, what is L? 20? 50? 52? And still lost. Hey, I mean, hey, sometimes no matter how good you are, right? That's right. I was a surgeon long before he was, you know. Then no good onion boy comes along. Well, Trucy, looks like we found ourselves. Hey, Apollo, don't say that. Don't say that. I love this duo. They're just idiots. Also, Trucy's adorable. Thanks to him, I was forced to trade my scalpel for a ladle. I mean, you can hurt yourself with a scalpel. A ladle feeds people. A scalpel cuts people open. Okay? Let's look at it like that. There really needs to be a compare. Maybe. Sorry, pal. Didn't mean to weigh you down with an old man's rambling. No. Sometimes rambling is a good thing. And sometimes I think the older you get, the more you have to ramble about. You know, I used to hate listening to my grandma tell, like, stories like, oh, when I was little, I used to do this and stuff like that. She would speak in Chinese because she only knew Chinese. But, like, I would play video games and, like, I used to play Naruto Clash of Ninja 2. And then she would always look and she was like, oh, is that the sand person? Gaara. And he's like, it's like, oh, the sand person. Oh, it was fighting the snake person, Orochimaru. And so, like, I would listen to her, like, Grandma, what are you talking about? And then she would go off on a story about a snake or, like, the beach or something like that. And it's like, but, you know, I realized as I got older, you know, old people have lots of stuff to talk about. And, you know, sometimes it's good to listen because you actually learn some stuff. So go hug your grandma tonight. No, it's fine. By way of an apology. You ever get yourself in a spot of trouble, you drop by. You're investigating Maractus, aren't you? Yeah. If you want to know about a doctor, you ask a Oh, he's kind of like a... He's like a hidden in. Like, right? Like, he's the person you'd never expect to have medical knowledge. It's kind of like me and my understanding of AI, even though I'm a voice actor. I'm so smart. I'm the smartest person. But yeah, no, like, it's like, legitimately, like, this is a helpful thing to know. It's like, he has medical experience. We can come to him, and nobody would expect it. And no, yeah, if I could hug mine, you would. Well, hug your elders today, whichever elder you have. If you have a dog and he's like 9... He's functionally 63, so hug him too. If you think of me, if you need something, Trucy doll.
Right, thanks, Mr. Altoon.
I guess the time I spent listening to him complain wasn't entirely wasted. Actually, we do have something we want to show you. She's in Mexico? Well, you better fly to Mexico, because I told you to hug him tonight. Go! Get going! Here. Sorry, Sunny boy. My interest is for my stand and precious little else. Get cracking! Oh, I thought maybe he can tell us more about the checkup report, but I guess not. I'm writing a more creative side of game stuff, like character writing and character stuff. But who knows how I am in code. Hey, keep trying. Keep working hard. Not examine. We've examined most of this. Move. Oh, right. We have to go this. Wait, hold on. There. Okay.
Well, we've got to check out this clinic, that's for sure.
Yeah, but what about the guard?
No harm in asking. Excuse me.
Hey, it's you two from yesterday. Oh, that's the same officer that was standing out by the park yesterday. Business is over in the park, huh? Clinic's off limits. It's not involved. How is it not involved? What the frick?
But...
What part of off limits do you not understand? Show me proof that the clinic is connected to the park, or beat it! No harm in asking. No gain either. No point in sticking... What do you mean it's not involved? This is where the victim worked! But for some reason, we just walk right into the garage. Ooh.
Look at that crowd over by the park.
Probably people trying to get a glimpse of the crime scene.
But why are all those girls screaming?
Because they're terrified for their lives. Because that man is a monster.
I think I heard one of them say, "Oh my God, it's him!"
Yeah. It is. It is. Oh. Hey. If it isn't hair forehead. Kioma, stop fangirling. Stop. Stop that. Prosecutor Gavin. What a pleasant surprise. Some fans found me on my way out. Just my luck.
Oh my God, he's so cool!
Thus the streams. New album just came out, you know? Try waving to them. They love it.
He's so cute!
They're so excited, it doesn't matter who waves to them, see? This is surreal.
So, you were here investigating. Who is that girl near my car here? Get her!
Trucy, run! Yeah, I was on my way home when my gave up the ghost. Your hog? Yeah, my motorcycle won't start. Clogged exhaust pipe.
Well, that's too bad. Looks like such a nice bike to— Oh, gotta go! Bye! Hard to believe they could just break from that! Apollo, save me!
Ugh, it's my fault. I think I used the wrong oil. Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust and they won't run. Machines. Tell me you share my angst there, forehead. I ride a bicycle, actually, because I care about the environment. Oh my god, Clavier doesn't care about the environment! That's so hot! Anyway, I'm off to the shop to get her fixed. The detective in the charge of the scene isn't fond of me in any case. The detective? You mean the one in the lab coat? Yeah. She's in a foul mood, too. Be gentle, because she's gonna be rough. Clever, are you a wingman for me? I got your back, Apollo. Oh, maybe Clavier's not so bad after all. A Wiedersehen, baby. I don't actually speak German, I just think it sounds cool.
Oh my god, there he goes!
And today's forecast, gloomy skies. I hate it. Now you get my point. No, he's the worst. He's the worst. I hate him.
Well, nothing to do but head in. Let's hit the park, Apollo.
Trucy is so on every, fangirl's hit list now. People Park. Does something about this scene look different? Yeah, there's a footprint.
The blue tarps are gone. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Hey, look over there.
The white frock detective from yesterday. She seems to be apologizing reverently to the trash can.
She's under a lot of stress. She dared get close to the K-pop idol. The investigation's probably not going well.
Hey, you there. If you're gonna talk about someone behind their back, do it more quietly, please.
Oh, Detective Sky, hello. So, Phoenix tells me you were a very sweet girl. What happened?
You seem as gloomy as ever.
This is miserable. I got a new kit and I can't get the stuff to work. And everyone's all smiles for that Glimmer's fop. This is what No Lana does too.
Glimmerous? Does she mean Prosecutor Gavin?
More to the point, doesn't she mean glamorous?
No. When he walks, his shiny chains catch the sun and glimmer in my eyes. It's distracting.
How are you not 600 pounds heavier? Speaking of distracting.
I guess I just have to accept the fact that I lack talent.
No, Emma, no, you are the most talented little angel I know. You are amazing. You've never committed a murder, which is saying a lot for this series, okay? Sounds like she's trying out some sort of new forensics technique. Talking about her apologizing to the trash can, wasn't there a trash can that had something inside of it? trash can sits next to the path here.
And I guess we now know it was Mr. Stickler who hid Little Plum's bloomers, huh?
Meanwhile, Maya's been accused of 23. That's right, Trucy, and what a web of lies grew out from that one little act.
I can still remember that moment. You brandished those bloomers on high and shouted, "Objection!"
Here's what I want you to do, Trucy. Take that memory, gently lock it away deep into your heart, and never speak of it again. Hey, Maya's never been found guilty. I mean, when you've been accused of like 100 murders, at least 2 or 3 of them she's probably done. I forgot, but I think there was like something that we had to pick up from a trash can. I don't remember. I'm sure it'll come to me eventually. Detective Sky, you know Mr. Wright, correct?
How do you know my daddy? I want details. Are you my mom? He helped me out a long time ago. You might say that he saved me. Oh, that sounds so romantic. You're my mom, right? I love you, Mom.
Wait, how old are they? 15, 25.
Wow, you were really young when you had me, Mom.
Wasn't she saying something about getting involved in an incident?
I can't stand when things are vague, especially in a case. I went to study to become a forensic scientist in Europe.
Emma would have been true. I would have been 10, and if that were true...
Mom, can we get ice cream later? I'm not your mom!
But you're a detective now, right?
Well, I failed the test.
That's why she's so bitter.
But you know, rank and title don't matter. What matters is what's inside your heart.
No, I'm pretty sure she's bitter because she failed her exam, and now she's not a forensic scientist. Damn, her dream got shattered, huh? I mean, it's not that bad. She's still on the detective agency.
I've always thought that too. And my heart is full of science. That's why I bought this kit through mail order.
You bought it through mail order? She failed, but Gumshoe managed. Hey, Gumshoe's a smart boy. Just no common sense.
And I'm gonna test it here before the forensic team arrives.
Are you sure that's legal?
I won't lie, I'm not fond of the man. Those glamorous types are always rub me the wrong way.
Glamorous, right.
A prosecutor should be cool of wit and furrowed brow. Less glimmerous and more simmerous, you know? There was this one prosecutor who was like really, really, really cool. I think he had a thing for Mr. Wright. And he was like, all like, Mr. Wright, I'm gonna strip your jacket off. And oh no, I think that was just my fantasies.
No, actually I don't.
Well, that and what happened 7 years ago. Prosecutor Gavin was the one who stripped Mr.
Right of his attorney's badge. Okay, so yeah, that's actually interesting. So do the Gavin brothers have it out for Mr. Wright? Do the Gavin brothers have it out for Phoenix? Maybe because Gavin number 1 tried to frame him for murder, and now we got Gavin number 2 when we found out he stripped Mr. Wright.
What? Really?
He was the one? I just realized she has like little test tubes in her bag.
You mean you didn't know? I thought you were one of his boys.
I'm neither a boy nor one of his. Let's see what she has to say. What exactly happened 7 years ago? Never actually heard the details.
Then investigate. It's better you learned it for yourself anyway.
Do you mind asking me what it is you've been doing here? Squatting down on the ground like that.
Oh, you want to know, right? You asked, right? You're interested. So, of course, I'll take the time to explain it to you because you're so interested. I'll tell you. Well, I splurged on a new toy.
You splurged. So it wasn't police issue? She probably just does forensics on her own now because she failed her forensic science exam. You know what? You know what the worst part is? She's not an idiot, right? Oh, wait. Emma's not an idiot. Okay, from what we knew about 16-year-old Emma up until now, she's not an idiot, but she's absolutely an idiot, right? So I suspect how she failed her exam is she got all the answers right, but it was multiple choice, and she accidentally filled everything one off. It was Scantron, and she accidentally filled in the answer for number 2 and number 1, and number 3 and number 2, and number 4 and number 3, and so she got like a 20%. But she totally passed it. Like, she's obsessed with this stuff. She absolutely passed it. She just... It was absolutely like something totally stupid as to why she failed.
What is it? A roller and glue? This is a footprints analysis kit.
Footprint?
It was raining on the night of the murder, which means that footprints were left.
Emma would be the type to now not show her work. No, Emma would be the type to, like, just know the answer. She'd be like, it's obvious. Why do I need to show my work, right? You don't show your work for 1 + 1 = 2.
Which means that footprints were left. Oh, does it have anything to do with those blue tarps? Right. The ground was muddy, so I had to protect it, as it was that night. Ever wanted to know exactly where someone was standing? Like your panty-snatching student witness, for example. Oh, so with that kid? Right.
What?
Want to try? Want to try the stuff out? Come on. I know you want to try it. I'll humor you.
Are you sure? We're sort of on opposing teams and all.
Oh, pshaw, you're friends. And to tell you the truth, I'm not so good at doing that.
A detective that's actually cooperative. Emma for best detective. Emma for BF. Best BDF. Best detective forever.
Guess I'm a little clumsy. I could use your help.
And she's clumsy. Oh, I don't know what it is, but bumbling characters are always kind of endearing.
Oh, I'm good at this stuff. Like, I used to make magic bunnies out of paper mache, and I forged a whole bunch of evidence when I was young.
Troze! Footprint analysis. Let's do it. Okay, we'll give it a go.
That's the spirit. I know you want to do it. Okay, I know since you're so excited, I'll let you. Allow me to explain. One moment.
She's totally like taking the instructions like, okay, step 1 is to first do the step 2.
She's reading the instructions for...
Okay, never mind. Maybe she just failed at her because of her own merit. Why does this not fill me with confidence?
First, we have to pick the footprint, or in this case, a shoe print we want analyzed. I've taken the liberty of marking all shoe prints in the park. Well, which shoe print should we start with? If we're going to verify the defendant's account, here's the place to start. Shoe prints, prepare to be examined. Ooh, this is so exciting. Right, here goes. First, pour the oh, it's a plaster mold. I see. The only time I've ever used a plaster mold was to get my teeth aligned. You guys ever do that? Yeah, like, what is it? If you ever go to the orthodontist, they put a plaster mold on your teeth so that they can see how your teeth are shaped and stuff like that. You try it. How am I supposed to do that? Just press A where you want to pour the plaster. If you had a touchscreen or a DS, this would be way easier, but you don't. Like this. That doesn't look too hard. If you run out of plaster in the beaker before you're done, you'll have to start out. Why? Because it is a game mechanic. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fun for the player. Ah, gee, I ran out. Sorry about that. What are you doing? Out of plaster already? Hey, give me a break. I'm just a beginner at this. I'm not that far ahead of you, believe me. Fine. I'll make another batch. Don't mess it up this time. Plaster, here comes justice. I hate my life. Hey, there's still a little corner over there. Not bad. You're handier with that than you look. What's that supposed to mean? On to the next step. Dry the plaster until it turns white. Right. Just press A to She brought a hairdryer. Okay, look. This hair doesn't do itself. No, you literally just have a ponytail, girl. There. Give it a shot. She literally just brought a hairdryer. Also, I don't think you should dry these with heat because they would crack, right? They'd expand and crack. Looks like it's hardened nicely. Let's take a look. That's a good one. Next, the ink. Ready for the next step? Use the roller to ink just the shoe print part. Hold on to that roller tight with A and roll it up and down. Keep going till you've got enough ink on there for a good print. Do you know what it feels like? It feels like I'm playing frickin' Cookin' Mama. I wish Cookin' Mama didn't have a controversy on the Switch so I could stream it! Right, now the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's take our print. Ready? Here goes. Someone stepped in gum. Oh. What was the controversy? Well, there was a whole bunch of controversies, but the company was involved in some sort of cryptocurrency. It had nothing to do with it was found that it had nothing to do with Cooking Mama, but Cooking Mama was also poorly optimized, and as a result of a bunch of poor game development and cryptocurrency involvement of the company and stuff like that, they pulled the game from the market. A gum God dang it. Emma, how could you? Wait, Emma wears heels? No good. Must have messed up somewhere. Shall we try another print? I kind of just want to see everyone's shoe prints. Emma kind of has small feet. I'd love to, examine that a little bit closer if you'd like, Emma.
You know, I think, you know, we need another shoe print. You can use my back to do this one if we need some footprints for you. What? I mean, what? Gavin has his own freaking necklace symbol on his shoe. What the freaking tool? What is that? Oh, he's wearing like loafers. What is that? What is this? Her shoes are just one oval. What is this? And he's just wearing normal sneakers. His shoes have ramen on it. Anyway. Do we really need to do this whole scanning thing? It should be obvious. So the shoe prints belong to Wakikitaki after all. He was in the park of the night of the crime.
I can almost see the science at work! Don't you love it?
Nothing feels better. Except, you know, the white powder I gave Phoenix Wright. I thought we gave that back to... Not that one. I mean... yeah, you gave it back to me. She's definitely way more into this than I am. Just let me know if you want to do some more. I'll be here, solving the case. With science. Science! Well, that certainly brightened her mood. Before we do that, I actually wanted to investigate the whole trash can thing. There was a I remember there was a trash can that I needed to investigate. Is it here? No, there's no trash can here. No, I think that's just a bucket. There's a shirt and stuff. It's not here. It wasn't at the agency, I don't think. It's definitely not at the agency. Maybe the clinic?
Sabra, the prodigal attorney returns. Welcome, Apollo. I heard you did well at the trial today. Here to discuss something? I could use a diversion.
What did Detective Sky say? If you want to know something, you have to investigate it yourself. Mr. Wright, tell me about what happened 7 years ago, please. I want to know. I need to know.
You certainly didn't waste any time getting to the point, bruh.
Not this. I just want to check for a trash can. Is there a trash can around here? I remember there was a trash can. I just can't remember what it was for.
7 years ago, bruh, I was standing in a courtroom on behalf of a client. The case involved the death of a certain magnificent genius. I'd be surprised if you hadn't heard about it, bruh.
It was all over the news, I remember. You were up against Prosecutor Gavin, weren't you?
Sure, bruh. He was only 17 years old at the...
Is that even legal? What the frick? I'm not... You... That's still in high school.
He took the bar's exam abroad in Europe. They're progressive over there.
I love how progressive in today's language has essentially become synonymous for they don't give a crap.
I was defeated by a 17-year-old newcomer. In my shame, I left the practice forever. That's all.
That's... How could that be all?
What do you mean, bruh?
What about what they were saying on the news about forged evidence? They said you forged evidence and your attorney's badge was stripped from you.
I tried to convince them that discovery was a good idea. They didn't listen. Tell me, how does it feel? How does it feel to stand here before Phoenix Wright, the fortune attorney himself?
How does it feel? I don't want to believe it's true. I mean, he did use forged evidence, or he made you use forged evidence. But what about what happened in my first trial?
Sure, bruh. I got some cards at home, and I got some ketchup on them, and I thought I'd bring them over here to this courtroom. I was actually going to get it cleaned, but, you know, I figured we would use them for the trial anyway. I don't see you to jump into my defense in this one. Maybe I did forge evidence. Maybe I didn't. Doesn't really matter now, does it? All that matters is my beanie says Papa.
But
I'm not an attorney anymore. That's the only truth you need to know.
man, if you look at Phoenix's eyes, I didn't really notice this earlier, but they've drawn his eyes a little bit differently. His eyes look very like you can stare into his eyes. They kind of look empty. Mr. Wright. Looks like he's not going to talk about it for now. But I'll make you talk. Phoenix, talk. Or your daughter is never seeing her panties again. No. Where was the trash can? Here? Oh, there. This trash can is where we found the mirror. Come to think of it, wasn't there something else in here? Something near the bottom? I completely forgot, and I remember like, oh, she was just trash can. Like, didn't we investigate a trash can or something like that?
Look at the paint on these. That means
These must have ended up here after Mr. Wright's accident.
maybe they're connected. Let's pick them up.
Slippers of the patients found at the Manakyn clinic. Oh, okay. The Manakyn clinic. Who puts their frickin' name on their frickin' sign? I guess branding is everything, right? Oh, here's the oh.
The bottom is covered with paint.
What's this weird shape here?
Looks like a leaf was stuck to the bottom when the wearer stepped in some yellow paint.
So the outline was left when the leaf was removed. Ah, got paint on my hand!
Apollo! I saw you trying to wipe your hand on my
Apollo! Jeez, Apollo. Oh. I wonder, could this be a print?
Why would there be a Oh, you mean a toe print. I knew you were a feet person, Apollo.
Shut up, Trucy! I bet we can analyze it just like a regular print.
This could be a vital piece of evidence.
Oh. No, I'm not going to do that again. Okay, I guess I kind of do it again. Oh, I just literally needed to do this. In complete silence.
Hey, it worked. This looks like a big toe. I feel like the case is solved already.
Oh darn. Now we're just gonna have to check everyone's feet. Emma, it looks like I gotta take your toe prints. Do you mind showing us your feet? What was next is we have to match the print, right?
Right, let's match it. Wait, the detective didn't give us a list of toe prints, Apollo.
Oh, good point. Maybe we should ask her, get some
expert advice.
I guess. I'm not sure she really qualifies as a... Damn, Apollo! Well, we got a toe print. All right, now we can go back here. Oh, not present, talk. There. Yeah, man, Emma keeps catching strays, man. She's just doing her best, and like everyone just keeps insulting her. Detective Sky, mind if we give it another go?
Right on. Leave no print unanalyzed, I say. I see you're super excited, so I'll let you take care of this. And she's like just drooling. Yeah. More fingerprints.
Oh, no. I want to do toe prints. Pour.
Okay, looking good. Next, dry the plaster.
What are you doing? Well, this part looked dirty. I wanted to clean it up. Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to dry it with heat. It will definitely crack the plaster.
Okay, let's take out the mold.
Oh, this is Stickler's. This is 100% Stickler's. It was. I remember his shoe print. Oh yeah, I remember the nail there too. Yeah, it's definitely Stickler. Why is there a nail in his shoe? Is that a nail? Like a nail? Maybe he just stepped on a nail. I don't. Why would? I have no idea why that's there. Look, the word comparing even has pixels like it would be in the DS version. So these shoe prints belong to Stickler. This confirms his testimony. Well, the final version of it, at least.
Now we know where the panty snatcher was standing. So, Apollo, I leave my panties out sometimes too.
One more shoe print. Detective Sky.
I believe you're beginning to appreciate the wonder that is forensic science.
Emma's gotten so sassy since we last saw her as a teenager. This one's a weird one. I don't know who would be standing here.
Okay, looking good. Now dry.
All right. Looking good. Close enough. Oh, look, there's a leaf! There's a leaf!
That's a funny shoe print. Is that even a shoe? It's strange, it's so smooth.
Except for the part with the leaf.
I can say without even looking that this print doesn't match any prints on our list.
A mystery print. Where have I seen a print like that before? Oh no, I can't figure it out. Examine? Not examine,
This print is far too smooth to be from a regular shoe. It's a shoe print of some kind, though. Oh, it's a shoe print of some kind, though. Still, you have to wonder what it's doing here. And it's right next to Eldune's noodle stand. It does make one wonder. Hey, you.
Yeah?
Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? You wouldn't happen to have something in mind? Something that might have left this mystery shoe print?
It does remind me of something. I'm pretty sure I've seen something like that. You know, I think I have our culprit right here. It's Trucy's pant. Well, I think it's these slippers, actually.
What would slippers be doing?
This way we know you're not just randomly guessing. Hey, if you randomly guess and it's out of 4, you're only going to get 25%. But look at the bottom, see?
It's covered with paint except for...
See, right here.
Hey, that spot is shaped like a leaf.
What if a leaf was stuck on the bottom and came off when the slippers stepped in paint?
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Wait, something's written on them.
The Maractus Clinic.
Exactly. The victim's clinic. Okay, so this should demonstrate that there was actually 4 people there. Okay, we know that there was... Stickler was there. We know that, Walkie was there. We know that, what's his name? Maractus was there. And Maractus is standing right here, so his footprints would be under this statue, so we can't see it. But then there's a 4th person who is outside of, this point right here. There's actually 4 people. Again? No way! And I'm starting to understand the situation here, actually. Let me pull up the court record. Do we have a... we don't have the diagram of the 3 people. The witness, the killer, the victim, or something like that. But, you know, I'll... Hold on. Alright, it's time for Microsoft Paint. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Let me get a bigger brush. Okay, so we have the park, and the park looks like this. Okay, so here's the river right here. Right, and then here is the stand. Eldune. Stand. This is Eldune's stand, and then there's a little, like, thing right there, and then there's, like, the bucket right here. So I'm just gonna draw a little bucket right here. You guys know the bucket, and then this is where the victim here, victim, is standing right here, right? And then there's the, I'm not gonna call him killer. I'm gonna call him, well, K for Kitaki, so killer. He was standing right here, and there was supposedly a path. maybe I think they drew it like this or something like that, but you guys get the idea. And then the witness, who was a stickler, was right here. And then there was like a trash can or something. Trash can. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Right? We have found 3 footprints, right? Footprints here, and footprints here. Right, so these are where the 3 footprints are. Right, so this one is Wakikitaki's, so that one makes sense. This one is Stickler's, that makes sense. There should be footprints over here as well, but we didn't actually see those because there's a statue in the way, so we're not going to worry so much about that. Right, but we have Eldun's stand here. I think there was also like some sort of, I think it was like a tree or something like that. It's like a tree. Right, I remember that being in the diagram as well. So there's a tree here, and then there's a footprint right here, right? So there was most likely 4 people there, right? So the question is, how did this footprint appear? Well, this actually gives us an interesting idea. We know that this guy was all like... He shouted. I love panties. So he shouted, I love panties. And then everyone else was all like, what? Who the frick are you? So then Kitaki looked up at him. And then the victim looked up at him. Right? If you guys remember, the bullet went in the right side of their head, the right temple, but the right side of their head. Which means, in theory, the bullet had to, this is going to be a not so great bullet, but the bullet had to come in from this direction, right here. Or something like that, right? Somewhere along this way, right? Which implies that the actual killer, the actual gun person, was standing around here. So this is real location of shooter. Right, and if the real location of the shooter was standing around somewhere around here, I believe it is very probable that the shooter was actually inside the stand. So if we take a look at the stand itself, there is nothing. This is a piece of cloth. Now, we don't see any bullet holes, but it's very easy for them just to push the cloth aside and just shoot. So I believe there is a high probability that the shooter was actually inside the stand. And if the shooter was inside the stand, that means the victim was hauling the stand with the person inside. And you don't just randomly haul a stand with a person inside. There was intent to use the stand to haul someone. I'm not sure what the reason was, but he was carrying something. Where was the bullet wound? On the right side of his head. But he was specifically hauling someone, not something. He wasn't just hauling the noodle stand. He must have been trying to move the person. And that is actually further evidenced by what Clavier just said. I didn't even think of it at the time, but let's go back here for a second. Clavier actually said something really interesting. Yeah, we're gonna look at the panties again. But if you guys remember where we found these panties were inside Maractus's. He was inside Maractus's tailpipe. This brings back memories of forensic science. Right? This was inside his tailpipe. And if you guys remember, Clavier literally just said, if a tailpipe is clogged, the thing won't start. So the question is, this person was moving, this this person's body. And so whoever this person was, this fourth person who was inside the thing, inside the noodle stand, he was probably trying to move them without being noticed. Maybe the person was. Maybe wait, there's a few options here. Maybe the person was what forced him to move him. Maybe exactly. Maybe he tried using the car, but he couldn't because the car wouldn't start. So out of options, he stole the noodle stand. Because you don't want to be seen like transporting someone who doesn't want to be seen, right? So maybe he was making a point to try to conceal this person's identity. Or maybe, he works with the mob, right? There's another possibility. Maybe he was trying to go from his clinic. Maybe he was trying to go from his clinic through the park into Kitaki Mansion. Maybe he was trying to dispose of someone. Right? That's another option. Maybe he was trying to take this and dispose of someone, and so he was like, okay, we gotta take care of this person, and this person instead killed him. That's another possibility. There's a lot of possibilities here, but I think the one conclusion I can safely say is I believe that Maractus was trying to move someone without being seen, or without having that person be seen. And that person ended up killing him. For what reason, I have no idea. But I'm pretty sure this is the direction we need to go. Yeah. Anyway. Who do we have so far? You're an idiot. You're dead. You're my client. You're daddy. You're a beautiful. I'm gonna kill you. Or, no. I don't know why, but you guys remember what I said about her calling Waki a kid? I feel more and more like she might not be in this for love. Maybe she's trying to put Waki in jail. I don't know.
Someone from the clinic was involved?
Munch, 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 munch. Munch, 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 munch.
Why is she just because she's thinking. Just let her think.
Detective Sky, I have a favor to ask.
What? Can you get us access into the Maractus clinic?
The police won't let us in. They say the murderer and the clinic are not connected, and it's off limits until we prove that they are. I should be able to do something for you, yeah. Really? Well, you did my work for me here with the shoe prints. Seems like I should return the favor. Thank you, Detective Scott, Mom. Thank you, Mom.
I'm not your mom!
Here, show this to the police officer on duty. Are you and Daddy gonna get married again?
I'm not your mom! Right. Maractus, here comes justice.
Bye, Mommy. I'll see you later.
June 16th, Eldune's house. You two again. When will you learn? Look at me however you want. You're not getting in.
I wouldn't be so sure of that. We have a letter from my mommy.
What's the... Mom.
How old are you?
I'm 15.
How? She's 25. Okay, Tom, some questions are just better left unasked. Yeah, you can go in. Okay. Okay, who are you two, really? Oh, he's suspicious again. Well, you got the orders. Gotta let you in. Have fun.
Thanks, Mr. Officer.
Let's hit it! Oh, no. Trucy, don't hit the officer! What lies in the Maractus Clinic? Find out next time. Yeah, sorry I have to make this one a shorter stream today, guys. Ugh. That was fun. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I have to make this one shorter because I have a lot of work I have to catch up to. Catch up with. But yeah. Yeah, but, you know, I had a lot of fun. This is always super fun for me. Unfortunate, but understandable. Yeah. You know, next week we'll have plenty of time to stream as well. Yeah, I have a lot of crap I need to catch up on. Yeah, but I still have a little bit of time to chat. I wanted to make sure we had at least a little bit of time to chat. Yeah, yeah, so there's a lot of stuff has happened. In just like what's going on with like video game world and stuff like that. Pal World's getting sued. Yeah, Pal World's getting sued. Also, I've been keeping track of like some stuff with the video game voice actors, and yeah, video game voice actors are getting really big heads now. You guys might not be as aware of this, but yeah, a lot of voice actors now are kind of using their positions as like more celebrity style positions. You know, you guys know what I always say, right? So it's very against my philosophy to go to do that type of stuff, and I totally get like you need to build your career, but at the same time, it's like we've seen what happened to Hollywood when celebrity culture like takes over, and it's like that's something I don't want to see what happen to voice acting, but it's probably going to happen at some point. Yeah, but what you gonna do? Excuse me. Yeah, but excuse me, I have to do some stretchy. Stretch. Oh man, life is hard. Yeah, I have a lot of auditions coming up for some video game stuff, but I have to ensure it's not strike breaking. But even if it was strike breaking, honestly, I don't care that much about the strike, so it's like, but you know, apparently Japan is rooting for Nintendo to win. Really? That's an interesting one. I didn't know that. Do you know what the reason for that is? Japan, Nintendo, Pal World. Let me see here. Japanese fans are siding with Nintendo here. Let's see. All right, let me read this. I'm just gonna read this out loud to you guys. Freaking ads. Get lost. Okay, let me read this out loud. With the news that Nintendo and Pokemon Company are suing Pocket Bear, the reaction by Japanese fans has generally been in favor of Nintendo. The issue tends to crop up is that Pocket Pair has a history of copying Nintendo's output, and this was the inevitable outcome. For instance, one post on X points out that Craftopia is a copy of Breath of the Wild, so the situation by Palworld is no means a one-off. I mean, to be fair, Palworld is kind of Breath of the Wild too. Essentially the way you wake up and it goes da-da-da-da, that already is very reminiscent of Breath of the Wild, where they have a little jingle whenever you appear at like a place. You also have people pointing out the apparent partnership between Pocket Pair with Sony and Amniplex are likely expedited Nintendo's legal response. Interesting thing here is that the Western response has been more on Pocket Pair's side, viewing them as some kind of underdog, which is not a viewpoint widely shared by Japanese fans. The way Pocket Pair called the indie developer card actually angered some people. Wait, what? Oh, like they're claiming to be indie developers? I spoke with Japanese gaming analyst Circus Pocket Pair. Let's see here. Pocket Pair. What is the size of their Pocket Pair size, company size? Pocket Pair has under 50 employees. Pocket Pair Entertainment. Wait, this might not be the right one. Entertainment providers. Pocket Pair Entertainment. No. Hold on. Pocket Pair Entertainment. I think they're under 50, according to this. I'm not sure. I need a little bit. As of March 2024, the indie game company developed was 55 people. I don't know. This is just like a summary, so I don't know for sure. It's referring to their statement about the lawsuit on Twitter. Oh, I see. Well, I don't give a damn about Twitter. I spoke with gaming analyst Circon Total. It is difficult to quantify, but there can be no doubt the overwhelming majority of Japanese voicing their opinions are actually backing Nintendo. Reactions range across Schadenfreude. What is that? The pleasure derived from another person's misfortune. Okay. Anticipation of what will happen to Pocket Pair in the future, or pure malice. Most people in Japan seem to think that Pocket Pair now gets what they deserve, whereas the opinions seem to be more divided in the West. What is also apparent in Western discourse is the lack of understanding of how patent law works or how general intellectual... No, I'll disagree with that. I'll disagree with that. I don't think in the West they are... there's a lack of how patent law works. I think there is a lack of understanding of how patent law works in Japan specifically, right? Because obviously when it comes to Western discourse, they're going to use what they're familiar with, which is their legal system, right? Western people might not understand how Japanese patent law works. Because you have to remember 2 different legal systems. So I don't necessarily agree with what this person's saying. I understand what they're saying though, because he's a Japanese analyst. I do, but here's my problem, right? I don't see how anything... I don't see enough of how anything that Palworld does is directly capable of being enforced by copyright law. At least in Western standards. And of course, and I'm going to say, right now, of course, but you know, getting away from the legal side and going to the more cultural side, I'm going to say this. Of course, the West is supporting Pocket Pair. Because of look at everything is happening right now. Sony has failed with their game. Ubisoft is failing with 2 different games. PlayStation and their PS5 Plus Pro, whatever it is, has failed. It's like what is it? Dragon Age. I think the new game that gamers are beating up is Dragon Age recently. Dragon Age is currently, you know, being accused of focusing more on hiring quotas than actual game development, so on and so forth, right? People are really fed up, at least in America, with large game development companies. So with Nintendo suddenly putting out a lawsuit, it's like there's absolutely no question that people are going to be against it. People are, at least in the West, there is no question, because that's essentially what what has occurred for the past 2, 3, 4 years for gaming, right? Every big game company has attempted to put out something that gamers weren't happy with, and then they blame the gamers. Like, every game company has done that at some point in the past, like, 3 years, at least the large ones. So, of course, people are absolutely going to be supporting Palworld in the West. Frankly, I think this is I don't know why Nintendo suddenly pushed out a lawsuit now. They could have probably pushed it out any time in the past few years. I don't know why they pushed it out now. In the West, it would not have been good timing. But I don't know what's going on in Japan, right? Japanese culture is different from the United States' culture. Right, so the question is, what exactly are they suing Palworld for? And from what I understand, they're not actually suing them for the PALs. They're actually suing them for certain mechanics. One thing I understand is, like, they're suing them for the mechanic of using Pokeballs to catch monsters. That's what that's from something I understood. And for the most part, what is it? Like, it's more specific than that. They're saying, like, okay, well, Pokemon has a mechanic of catching Pokemon with Pokeballs. And whether or not you're successful depends on things like how much the Pokemon has been weakened and what types of effects are going on. And it's like that, the more detailed aspects of that mechanic. But the question is, how much can you patent real life? Right? That's a big question. Right? That's the question I always have for patent law. Right? Like things like cell phones and stuff like that, like patenting like cell phone chips or patenting I don't know, putting a patent on like speakerphone design or something like that. I completely understand you can patent those things because those things don't mirror real life. They're actually completely separate from real life. They're a creation, right? But when it comes to video games, what Pokemon is attempting to do is they're attempting to model real life, which is real life hunting, right? You weaken an enemy or you weaken an animal and then you throw a net on them, right? That is functionally what Pokeballs are. right? You shoot a bear and then you try to catch him in a bear trap, something like that. So then you can kill him and eat him later, right? Or maybe like bug catching. From what I understand, the Pokemon developer was very inspired by his childhood of bug catching. And I also will say, would be no surprise to me if the people who originally developed Pokemon are no longer currently part of the Pokemon group because they're old, right? So obviously. So there's a lot to unpack here. But I suspect, it's going to be very difficult. At least it's going to be very difficult to convince me and Western patent law, I will say, that the Pokeball is anything other than an attempt to mirror real life. Right? It's functionally real life, just in a more kid-friendly way. Right? You weaken your animal, and then you throw the ball. Right? That's one of the things that, from what I understand, is what they're suing them for. And I think Japan might be more in favor of Nintendo instead of Pal World. So they say things like, okay, they've copied Nintendo. I don't think that's exactly what it is. I think that's kind of a way to explain it in a very quick and easy way. Okay, Pal World has a history of copying people. So they copied Breath of the Wild here. They copied Pokemon over here. I think it's a little bit more deeper, or a little bit deeper. I think what they're really upset with is the fact that Pal World is more like a... I think what they're upset with is Pal World seems more like a game that, like, what are those companies that are, that just kind of like pump trash out into the market? Like, slang for gaming company that makes bad games. Shovelware, yes. I think they are more upset with the fact that Pocket Pair is kind of has a reputation of kind of like shovelware-ish practices. So for those of you who don't know what shovelware is essentially a company that just produces quantity. Like, they like, oh, here's a good game mechanic that was created by Nintendo. Let's put it into a game, pump it out, see how many we can sell, and then move on to the next one, right? Because they have 3 or 4 games that never really released fully, right? Craftopia was one of them. And Craftopia, as you said, was accused of copying Legend of Zelda and Ark, as you just saying. But yeah, that one never fully released. They have like a history of like a bunch of games that I don't know the full history, but I know like 2 or 3 games were never fully released. They just kind of abandoned them and then moved on to the next one. And a lot of those games were heavily inspired by other games. Right? Like, for example, you don't see anyone getting upset with Genshin, even though Genshin might as well be a gacha clone of Breath of the Wild. That's functionally what it is. But nobody's really upset with it because, they have a generally complete game and they're constantly producing content and so on. I dislike gacha games, but millions of people disagree with me, so I'm not going to go too hard into that analysis, but I think what we're really seeing here is people disliking shovelware. And because people dislike companies that produce shovelware, and Pocket Pair has this kind of like a bit of a reputation of producing mass-produced crap and then moving on, right? That is heavily inspired by other games. Now that we have Pal World and it's suddenly seeing success, I think some people are attributing that success to, oh, well, you guys just kept producing shovelware until they found something that worked. Whereas the Westerners are more very anti, the Westerners have been very, very anti big games for a while. So the moment something is good, they're like, okay, well, we don't care if you have a history of producing not so great games because this one is good. All right, I will tell you this. If Pal World was a AAA company and they produced Pal World, I think it would have failed. I think it would have failed hard. Like, people love Palworld, but Palworld is a buggy mess, right? They love it. Part of the reason why Palworld got so popular in the West was because it wasn't big. And there was such a pushback against big companies. So that's something we have to understand. In the West, we have such a strong push right now against these big companies producing mediocre games. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I believe that Concord is probably more polished, more developmental. Graphic-wise, it's probably better than Palworld. Functionality is probably better than Palworld. Gameplay, honestly, I mean, it's a different set of games, but honestly, it's kind of comparable. Concord, I would say, at least in like 7 out of 10 aspects, is better than Palworld. But there is a reason why people don't like Concord and people like Palworld. It's because Concord was spent $100 million developing this game. And so people wanted it to be indicative of a strong game. Whereas, you know, when you have a small developer like Pocket Pair, people want to support it just simply because it's not a big company. 400 million now? Oh boy. Well, let's not get too hard into that. I don't want to follow the news as it updates, you know. I always look at news like a month or 2 months after. It's later, but generally it's more accurate. But I'm not going to follow too much on that. But the reason why Palworld got so popular is because it was a good game that was produced by a very small company. Right? If this exact same game was produced by Sony, it would not see the light of day. No one would be playing it. So that's just something to be absolutely clear on, right? And don't get me wrong, I freaking love Palworld. I love the game. I find it addictive. I find it rewarding to be able to raise my pals and force them into slavery. Haha. Yeah, but I love the game because of how silly it can be and how free it can be and how fun it can be. But it only existed because I gave it a chance. Right? I only found it fun because I actually tried it and I gave it a chance and I found, hey, this is actually kind of fun. Right? Like, for example, if Minecraft came out today instead of 15 years ago, I don't know how old it is. Let's say 15 years ago. If Minecraft came out today, no one would play it. Right? So that's something that we need to be really clear on. Often games pass or fail, not necessarily because the game is good or bad, right? Not saying that Palworld is bad. No, Palworld I think is a great game. But not all games fail or succeed because of whether or not they're good or bad. Honestly, Concord, in terms of gameplay, if they had polished it up, they could have been fine. But they failed. Concord failed not in the game. Concord failed on Twitter. Concord failed on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and IGN and GameSpot, and that's where Concord really failed. Right? Unlike Scarlet Violet, which crashed or lagged all to hell. I mean, to be fair, Scarlet and Violet were also producing a game on first-party game on Switch, which is notorious for that type of thing. Honestly, if they had released Scarlet and Violet on PC, for example, I think it would have run a lot better. they're just what is it? They just are really stick to their IP exclusivity. But yeah, it has to be really clear, right? A lot of games pass or fail, succeed or fail, based on how people see them. That is the reality of art. That is the reality of just about every single art industry ever. Yeah, it would have though. Exactly, right? Right. So this is the reality of all art industries, right? So that's why, you know, one of the the reason why Pocket Pair probably has a is losing the, let's say, losing in the court of public opinion in Japan is probably because they have more experience in Japan. I had never heard of Pocket Pair until Pal World, right? I'd never heard of them. And I said, this is a good game. I don't particularly care about your history. I'm going to play this game. But in Japan, chances are they had a reputation for producing shovelware. Then you got Craftopia. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, people don't realize your intent behind art is much more important than most people realize. Right? And people can sense intent. Right? Even if it's like false-ish intent. Right? You have what is it? You have Pal World here who came out with this mechanic, right? And a lot of their mechanics were very a lot of Pal World's mechanics were very clearly intent on being anti-system. Let's be real here. You can capture people. Right? They took the time to code in NPCs and their interactions as people. And their interactions as pals instead of people. They were very clearly trying to be anti-culture. And it was a smart move by them. Because they sensed, at the very least in the West, probably in Japan too, because in Japan, you know, people are pissed at Assassin's Creed. But, you know, they absolutely sensed that people were very fed up with let's say the goody side of gaming. So they said, okay, fine, we're just going to add slavery. And that became one of the biggest selling points of Pal World, which was you could do the things that everyone is telling you is evil. And it's like, the more you tell me not to do it, the more I'm going to do it because I don't like you. Right? This is like psychology 101, okay? And like psychology 101, this is like the very first psychology class you ever take. If you suppress a feeling, it comes out with an explosion, right? Like the most simple psychology. Yeah, people thought the devs were cool for how unhinged they were. Exactly, and I won't say unhinged, because I'm not going to say they were unhinged. They were clever. They were clever. They took all the things that gamers had been criticizing against other people, and they just cranked it up to the extreme. And when it came out with a passion, when the gamers were like, okay, we're going to be anti-goody two-shoes now, because you guys keep telling us to be goody two-shoes, and that's not what we want to be. We want to play a game. Right? So it's like, you know, I'll put it like this, in like a Star Wars metaphor, right? People. Here's a Star Wars metaphor. People wanted to be Han Solo. He's kind of like a rebel who wants to do good, right? People wanted to be like Han Solo. And everyone's like, no, you have to be like Princess Leia, because Princess Leia is like the ultimate good. She's the princess. She tries to save everyone. And like, no, we want to break the rules when we're saving the world. And they're like, no, you got to be Princess Leia. And in the process of trying to push them from Han Solo to Princess Leia, they eventually jumped all the way back to Darth Vader. That's essentially how it worked, right? By trying to make them good, they took their chaotic, the chaoticness that they wanted, and they pushed it all the way to the extreme. We get to commit atrocities. Hell yeah. That's exactly what it is. That's pretty much exactly what it is. I always say this, right? You tell someone, hey, stop being Hitler, right? Don't be Hitler. Hitler was a bad person, right? You keep saying, oh, don't be Hitler. You're just like Hitler, right? If you do that the first or second time, they're like, okay, yeah, I'm not doing anything bad, right? But then you keep going, don't be Hitler. I'm not Hitler. Don't be Hitler. I'm not Hitler. And eventually there's going to be a breaking point where they're saying, don't be Hitler. And you respond, you think I'm Hitler? Let me show you how much of Hitler I can be. There's always going to be that breaking point. And that's essentially what Power World capitalized on. And it was very good. Right? If for example, if people criticize, and, you know, PETA criticized this, but then, you know, a lot of the cultural commentators also criticize this, like, oh, Pokemon is actually cruel because it's actually just animal slavery, and you know, a lot of the people who like Pokemon are like, what are you talking about, animal slavery? It's just, you know, we're just what is it? It's just like, you know, a fun little game that we're playing, right? It's not animal slavery. It's like, oh, you guys are animal slavers. It's like and it's like, oh, well, we're not animal slavers. We're just having fun with this fun little game. And then Power World comes along and says, we know you're not animal slavers, but in this game, you can be an animal slaver and a human slaver. And everyone's like, hell yeah! That's what they did. That's what they capitalized on. And that's why they succeeded so much in the West. Because they essentially took what people were criticizing them for and added it to the game. And just cranked it up all the way to the top. Wasn't that the shown in some of your older streams where you basically became addicted? I have no idea what you're talking about. No, but it's become such a problem in the gaming industry that people think fantasy is or like storytelling and fantasy and art is talking about how people should act rather than how people do act. That is such a problem in the art world that people do not understand. People don't understand why it's become such a problem. No, or at least people don't understand why they can't do this, right? Art is not about how people should act. It's about how people do act. They try to equate fantasy with reality. Oh, they make it so much worse too. Right. Like it's not in a good spot. Give me one moment. I think there's someone at my door. Nope. Like some accusing others of terrible people. Essentially, yes. Essentially, yes. I remember I got some unhinged comments on when I played Cult of the Lamb. They're like, cults are evil. I don't understand why you're trying to spread this hatred towards. I might be exaggerating, but yeah. Right. video games and other stories are about exploring why people are the way they are, not how people should be. How people should be doesn't need a story. Right? You don't need a story for how to not be a murderer. Right? And then Bobby sat down on his chair and realized, wow, maybe killing people is wrong. You don't need a story for that. Yeah, like the one guy who tried to accuse them of being animal abuse Paul. Exactly. Exactly. When you... And, you know, it's such a big problem that people don't know how to analyze reality anymore. And I kind of blame the sudden insurgence of of the internet and essentially fast information, TikTok, ADHD kind of things, for people to be unable to actually think and analyze. More than ever, more than ever, Gen Z and even Gen Alpha have become are less capable of doing things like reading comprehension. They're less capable of focusing. They're less capable of following instructions. They're less capable of essentially piecing together a story, understanding the feelings of different characters in stories. It's like, and you know, you'd be a fool to think that won't rear its head in reality, and that's functionally what we're seeing. You're only the lucky one that's fictional. Gen Z doesn't exist. You're the one Gen Z that never actually existed. Apparently, Apparently, there's a big controversy with Coco Melon right now that I've just been catching up on. That people are all like, "Oh, Coco Melon is not good for kids." I've said that for years. No one believed me. Coco Melon does not follow the formula of children's educational content. So it's the same idea. It's the same idea, really. Yeah, apparently, lots of shady practices for Coco Melon have been coming out about how they produce hyper addictive content for children. I was like, I don't know about the hyper addictive stuff, but I've said it for years that their content is not educational. They don't follow the basics of educational content. You know the meme of Dora the Explorer? What do you think? Where is Swiper? That's actually, that meme is actually very important in children's education. I'm not sure if you guys know that. Having child interact. There's a reason why a lot of the very, very early cartoons go oh, do you see a clue? Where's the clue? That type of thing. There's a reason why all of those cartoons do that, because that's how the kids learn, right? Any early childhood film that doesn't have that, you should already be suspicious of. This has shook you to your very core. How's it going, Arcane? Something completely unrelated, but you remember someone singing September. What is September? You mean the Earth, Wind, and Fire song? Do you remember? Da 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 in September. Da 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 da. La da da. Da 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 da. La da da. Da 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 da. La da. Da 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 da. Yeah, but we're It's like, I've said this so many times, we're foolish to think that the internet was, like, necessarily a good thing. Like, 100% a good thing. We're absolutely stupid for thinking that. They said they were going to have a karaoke singing. They were just singing that the entire time. That's actually kind of funny. Did they watch Red October? What is Red October? But yeah, long story short, guys. Anyone who thinks that what people say on the internet is necessarily true is just silly. And anyone who is capable of getting a lot of attention, you should always be suspicious of. Right? That's really important. That's actually a really important point. Right? Anyone who's capable of garnering a huge amount of attention, a huge amount of views or likes or clicks or tweets on Twitter or something like that, you should be very careful of. Right? Because the things that people are attracted to are generally not good. People love chocolate. It's not necessarily good for you. Right? So that's just kind of a really important thing to think about. You never liked Kokomo? Well, you're also not their target audience, so. Wait a second. How old are you, Meep? Are you like... Guys, a 4-year-old has infiltrated the stream. We gotta go. We gotta get out of here. He's goo-gooing at us! It's an embryo! Run! Yeah, actually, what is it? I was chatting with one of my speech therapist friends. They're actually a speech therapist. And they're saying things like, you know, children now more than ever are going to speech therapy. Children now more than ever need help, with speaking comprehension, listening comprehension, reading comprehension, that type of stuff. You turned like 18. Guys, like 18. That is a very that's a subjective term, right? You can argue that a 1-year-old is more like an 18-year-old than a 100-year-old. Yeah, but long story short, you got to be careful. I mean, I can't always say what I say is perfectly accurate, but what I can say is that I will always try my best to figure things out with you guys, partially because this is more for me, to be honest. A lot of me talking to you guys is actually talking to myself as well. So, but oh man, yeah, it's not great. Yeah, and another aspect. This is actually one of the other aspects I have of voice acting. I think you like my talks. Thank you. I love chatting with you guys, but I also sometimes it sucks because I don't have that much time. I actually stayed an hour later than I expected to because I wanted to chat with you guys. I was supposed to get off at 6, but nah. Don't worry. I'm not accusing you guys of doing anything except ruining my career and, you know, throwing everything I've worked for down the toilet. No, I'm kidding. But what was I saying? Right. This is another thing I've seen in what is it? It was you. The moment Arcade first came into my stream, my fate was sealed. It was over for me. What was I saying? Yeah, the voice acting stuff, right? I'm seeing more and more voice actors very specifically start streaming and then trying to do streams in order to bring people to Patreon to fund their themselves, and trying to use their notoriety or using their careers to try to become a celebrity to an extent. I'm seeing that kind of everywhere, right? Everyone seems to have a Patreon nowadays. Will Smith and Colin Farrell. No, not actually, but you know what I mean. Everyone seems to trying to get going to get donations through Patreon nowadays and stuff like that. In the first Fire Emblem, the first time you streamed Fire. And if it's not Patreon, it's OnlyFans. Fun fact for you guys. I have a Patreon. You guys will never find it. I have a Patreon. It's completely disconnected from this channel, so that's why I never tell you guys. And I will never tell you guys. Cusco's poison. The poison for Cusco. What? Couscous poison. Yeah, I set up a Patreon a very, very long time ago for my translation service. For those of you who were here for that one stream, for a few streams of me talking about my translation services, you guys will completely understand why I don't associate it with this channel at all. Yeah, but yeah. Was it for manga or something? A very special type of manga. I haven't checked it for years. I honestly haven't checked it for probably since 2022. I don't remember if it was last stream. Yeah, I haven't checked it for since maybe 2022, maybe later, but or maybe earlier, but yeah, but that was just me taking advantage of the fact that people on the internet were very unhinged, but I didn't make more than $20 off of it. Yeah, but I never picked up those hints if you ever dropped them. Maybe you just forgot. I mean, I've talked about my friend who is an artist, but in order to survive for her first couple of years, she had to go into... She's a manga artist and an animator in Japan. Is this how the... No, the Daniel Radcliffe thing is completely unrelated. Yeah, one of my artist friends, she is now an animator, but in order to pay the bills, her first couple of years, because I've told you guys several times, animators in Japan, artists in Japan, they don't get treated very well. So in order to pay the bills for the first couple of years, she had to go to alternative means of income. And so she started looking for niche markets she could make money in. And well, let's just say, you know how they say sex sells? They're not wrong. And so, yeah. If she drew furry, she would have made bank. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know about those markets in Japan any more than I know those markets in America. But I suspect the markets in America and the markets in Japan are very different. But okay, we're gonna. Okay, just to be fair. All right, there are lots of famous artists who got their start doing very sketchy things. You know the guy who created the Great Wave of something. You know the Japanese picture of a wave. Kanagawa, the Great Wave of Kanagawa. Right. The artist who drew the Great Wave of Kanagawa, his name was Hokusai. I think maybe they reference him in Persona 5 actually. I think. Anyway, that artist, he got his start. He's a very famous artist, right? A very famous historical artist. He got an art drawing like monstrous creatures and sex positions. Essentially. He's attributed to a whole bunch of ghost stories because of his like sexually enticing ghosts and stuff like that. Though that is how he got his start. So it's like art people, unfortunately, they get yokai yaoi. God damn it. God damn it. I was not ready for that. I'm not, stop. No, but that's just the reality, right? Sometimes you have to be practical about your financial position. So, yeah. Yure. Yure means ghost, spirit. That was your chance. Oh my god. Yokai yaoi. It's a thing. I would not Google image it, but it's a thing. Yure Yuri. Okay. Yure Yuri. Oh, now I would absolutely Google Yure Yuri. Oh, actually, I wouldn't. Sorry, am I distracted? Just hold on. No, there's nothing actually questionable about it. It's mostly just pictures of ghosts. That war crime was for you. Anyway, I better get going, guys. Yeah. Always stay thinking, always stay happy with life. Don't be bitter. What are all the things we've talked about today? Don't be bitter about life, or don't overly criticize things. Try to just understand why people say the things they do. Don't take things to extremes. Go find demons kissing each other. Fiction is not reality. Yes, and understand fiction as a ways of exploring humans, not why they are the way they are. Anyway, I'm going to get going. I have a lot of auditions I need to do. Thanks so much for hanging out. Be hip. hypercritical, hyperbolic, and closed-minded. No! No, Arcane! You're wrong! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. You have any quests for me? I will see you all next time.